Yeah.
A lot that I would like to clue you guys into, for y'all's own protection.
See you back, mate.
Yeah, well, it's only gonna be for a little bit. I gotta go to sleep in right after this meeting, and then I'll be out for New Year's Eve and New Year's. But then, you know, you'll start seeing me popping back up. I think it's been good. It's allowed me to get like a bit of a reset.
Yeah, I think I'm also gonna be out for New Year's Eve. But...
Oh yeah. First things first. There's a fucking psychopath named Edgar who believes that I told Tilly. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the full like kind of deets, and you know, I'd keep this information to yourself, given that I don't want you guys to get hurt for spreading it around, right? It may seem innocent, even like Maeve when it comes to Forte, it's, you know, kind of...
I mean, Forte's in the ICU right now, so... I can't tell him anything, even if I want to.
I think even if he does come out, it's not good.
He got lit on fire at the lighthouse.
What?
Yep.
Can I punch him when he comes out of ICU?
I mean,
please?
if it's anyone's fault, I'm pretty sure it's Pixie Tarantino's, but that's a whole different story.
Okay.
Oh
we jumping?
See if I can get a hold of her.
So, I'm not going to get into too much details, but let's just say that Tilly's been stirring up some shit. And she's got a psychopath that is been... Hold on one second. Hey, Peters, can I talk to you in a little bit? Let me just wrap up with these guys, and then we can link up. Unless you want to sit through this political meeting.
I'm just going to sit on the bench. Okay, thanks,
Okay.
Cottage.
Saying that he is an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, absolute psychopath. I mean, to give you some context, first off, this was meant to be contained. Because, look, Tilly got herself doing things that jeopardized the entire cabinet. I don't want to go into the specifics, but she understandably can be naive at times, but this was not naivety, and I caught her lying. When she originally got caught up about 6 weeks back, she came to me worried that she was going to be the one that was going to get killed, and told me about some of the things that she was being sort of encouraged to do. And so at the time, I tried to get it sorted and tried to ask questions like, why are you getting Tilly involved in this shit? You know what I mean? And the moment that happened, I was being told by Tilly that I got her killed by bringing this shit up, that I was supposed to keep this to myself, right? She didn't make that clear to me at the time, but it wasn't an issue. The conversation I had with these people she got herself involved with, one of the guys, I know him from a long time back. He goes by the name Brandon Valentino. Brandon, from his side of things, was understanding of the situation, right? A member of Nino's cabinet should not be dragged into God knows what kind of activities they're involved in. Tilly told me that she understood it was, her involvement was not something she expected, and she was going to separate ways, right? So not a problem. About a month goes by, and some things are happening which I can't speak about. Some things that are illegal in nature. And Tilly, out of the blue, tells me, oh yeah, I'm in communication with them about blah, 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 blah. Like, almost as if, like, these are my BFFs. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You told me they're gonna, like, fucking kill you, and now you're, like, putting your head back into this? And keep in mind, this is, like, with all the fucking martial turmoil and all the bullshit we've been dealing with, right? And I told her, I'm like, listen, are you, like, are you doing things with this crew right now that I need to be aware of? And, like, long story short, she may have, like, accidentally blooded herself in. Like, and I say that because I don't know if she actually did. I don't think she actually knows. But I gave her a choice. It's either them or us. Because I'm not going to put you guys, everything that we've done, at the whim of her own baggage. And instead of understanding this, she instead took the selfish approach. It was a 3-hour fucking argument, mind you. I was fucking losing my mind. She was pretty much arguing that she wanted both. And ultimately, at the end of that conversation, she went and rang up Edgar. And apparently convinced him
The
that
leader of this group?
Yeah.
Okay.
apparently convinced him that I was telling her all kinds of bad things about Edgar, and that if she hung around Edgar, she would die. Like complete bullshit. And so this stir, right? Instead of her recognizing that, like, how exhausted I am as the staff is, she instead did the complete fucking opposite and pulled this fucking childish move. As a consequence, I suspended her. Remember that suspension about like a week and a half back or something like that?
Yeah.
She kept contacting me. When am I getting it back? Ultimatum. She started sending me fucking ultimatums over text. I need to know by the end of the day. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I got a million things going on. Like, your fucking, like, you know, your fucking shit is not at the top of my priority list. You know? Let me fucking figure shit out. As I spoke to her outside the courthouse after that ultimatum, it was the same conversation on repeat. I want both things. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done arguing. Just fucking join the cabinet again. I walk away. She texts me, nah, maybe I don't want to. Another phone call happens between me and her, and I realized I need to just go talk to Edgar and just be straightforward about what exactly is happening so he understands my point of view and how things have gotten to where they are, because I can tell the stir from a fucking mile away, right? She's lying to me. She's telling me all kinds of nasty things about Edgar. She's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell she's like fucking playing games. And so I speak with Edgar. I tell him everything to like 100% T. And this dumb fuck ends up shooting me. Because he's convinced that Tilly is the one telling the truth. That I'm brewing up fear-mongering around him. Now, at this stage, of course I fucking am. Because this guy is honestly like, they fucking call themselves 3 passes, fucking 3 IQ, the way they work. You fucking tell them, hey, I drove a yellow car down the street, and it turns into like, no, you tried to take a yellow airplane and fly it into a building. Like, it's actually absurd. Following this, this guy is, other things happened which I'm not gonna bore y'all with, but also I want to provide you guys some plausible deniability, right, in the event y'all are targeted, that you don't know some of the details. But the guy is still got a hot on for this dick, and not in a good way. So the challenge I've got right now is there isn't really anything I know that he wants, but of the time I have known him, his desires and animosity towards me continue to evolve. First it was I'm the Illuminati, then it was something about SEMA camps, then it was something around this guy named the Whisperer, then it was over what Tilly said, and now it's over some other shit. So it's sort of a unresolvable conflict with a madman. So,
Do you think it's likely that he will target cabinet members to, you know, target you by extension?
based on my conversation with him yesterday, where I was once again pretty open and asked him very pointed questions what his issue was, the best he could tell me, he's one of those kind of cunts that expects you to be entirely straightforward to a goddamn stranger, but then like gives you nothing back, right? So the conflict right now at this stage is shoot or get shot. As I've already tried to speak to him twice now, and the guy is not mentally stable. I will say that he has been involved in perhaps many deaths. He's involved with a guy named Norman Bones, which if y'all have any like semblance of, I'd recommend being very careful. He is like poaching like crew members to do his bidding.
Does he have anything to do with Tony Corleone? That you know?
I mean, possibly.
Because Larry and I got kidnapped like a week and a half ago and nearly thrown off the cliff at the lighthouse in some sort of weird sacrifice, but I couldn't identify anyone there other than Tony.
Thing is that Norman also has a very crazy cult. He has people that follow him
Yes,
who
well,
tried to
yeah.
get him to leave his lighthouse. So it could have been that, or it could have been anything really.
like I said at the beginning of the meeting, Forte was found 2 days ago lit on fire at the lighthouse.
Anguish, thank you for
And it didn't know
67
the ICU.
months. Yeah.
And it's Norman Bones apparently gave his statement to the cops.
Ah.
Yup.
What do you mean?
So, I don't know the full details of what happened to Forte yet, because Forte isn't awake, but I've been doing digging, and from what I understand so far, Forte was at a training at the hospital for the PD. Pixie Tarantino pulled him aside, told him something. He suddenly seemed very quiet and not himself, left the meeting, clocked out, and then was found later at the lighthouse, having been lit on fire from the inside, and Norman Bones was present.
So, he's involved. Edgar has involved a lot of people from different crews with a lot of different shit, and he's making a lot of enemies. And the guy has no brakes. I think he's trying to prove himself, and right now it's prove himself to a girl, and apparently prove that whatever allegations that were behind him in the past, like not relevant to his future. But in doing so, he's coming across as a fool and is probably gonna cause a lot of people a lot of headaches. And I do apologize if I'm being rather vague here once again. There's a lot of shit happening at once, and I don't want to burden you guys with some of the details. I don't expect most things to kind of make sense with all of this. Even for myself, I don't even have answers. I still don't know. I only know vaguely why I was shot and why this guy has a fucking hot on for me. But I do know things are probably gonna, there's a good chance they could get bloody. But I'm personally gonna kind of wash my hands of it until he makes a move, and then I'll kind of see where things go from there. It's hard to fight an obsession. Normally, people fight over something, but there is no something. It's just a ghost.
You know, it's weird. Edgar gave me a ride somewhere about a month and a half ago. I would have never guessed that you know, he'd be in the state that he is now. He picked me up at the Lido bus stop and drove me to the lumberyard. Had a totally normal conversation.
He's
Now I
actually
hear
very
all this shit.
charismatic when you talk to him.
Honestly,
Nice guy.
it
he's
was
been
just
up
a
at my
normal
shows before.
conversation.
Hmm.
I
I'm
hear
sorry,
that
what'd you do?
he's involved in crazy shit. Makes me wonder what the fuck happened to him. It's like he had a total mental break or some shit.
Yeah.
A lot. He's completely nuts.
I saw him as a goofy guy asking me for a gun. And it sort of wrapped up. I mean, maybe it's Norman related. Maybe he got his brain twisted. Maybe the guy got shot in the head and some switch went off. But
People do some crazy shit when Norman Bones is involved, but it's also not uncommon for cult leaders to have a socially acceptable, charismatic face that they can present to others, and then obviously do crazy psycho cult things behind closed doors. That's how they recruit people to the cult and maintain control and avoid detection.
Well, Tilly did tell me there's like blood and altars and stuff. I think the more concerning things, and this is less to do with us, as we've like, you know, we dealt with the Tilly situation, but with the amount of randoms and from different crews he's involved in said with, I wouldn't be surprised at this stage if they've taken their separate oaths with him. All for the promise of a reward, but as far as I've seen it so far, that reward has only been death.
There was a scavenger hunt yesterday, and we misread one of the clues. And we went to the lighthouse, and I can tell you there was blood everywhere. There was all sorts of things thrown, candles. It was really weird. Really,
the candles
really
are probably
weird.
from Idol. It's probably not related. Idol
Yeah,
goes
I
out to the
don't know.
lighthouse and lights candles and leaves offerings.
Interesting.
To who? To Norman?
Norman, but not in a sinister way like everybody else. She just kind of has, I don't know, it's like a spiritual thing for her.
Is she the one that has lap that?
Yo, Anguish, thank you so much, man.
Smoke.
Fucking legend, brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want Norman Bones lore, Idol is probably one of Idol or Richard Dark would be who I'd speak to. They probably know more than just about anybody.
I've gotten more than enough of my share. I want to stay as far away from that madman as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, that's.
What the fuck?
Same with Edgar.
Yeah, I don't know how much staying away from him. Like I said, I can best describe it as a obsession. So,
I haven't. Well, we'll see. On a, can I change it to a more normal?
Let's talk about the future, please.
Thank you, because I have a Mr. Vision, the guy from the food stamp.
Bazin, yeah.
Thank you. He wants to know how much money he can get to buy a car for the car raffle.
I think we go big.
I had him go into lossantos.me to fill out a funding application. But yeah, he was asking me about those sorts of details, and since I don't see our budget, I wanted to ask here.
I mean, I'll speak my mind. When I look at this city during the holiday season, and for the better part of the last month and a half, the only reason people are fed is because of Big Dog Noodles. I would be in total support of, I'm not going to say a blank check, but as Nino said, I would be in total support of going big for them, because they've gone big for the city.
They have. But I would love it if someone would toss me a number, because I'm not going to throw a number out there, since I don't know what our pocketbook is looking like.
I am down with a tunica. Yeah. And on that note, so I want to make sure we all kind of are on the same page. And I know some of you guys have heard this already. I am glad we have kind of decided to launch the court center like after the holidays. I didn't want people to have to pick and choose between the city and, you know, their families out of the city. So this means no one is missing out by enjoying their time. After the this week, I think we need to start purchasing things up and using the system at a do a soft launch. No announcements, no twats, just buying up things and having people come down, see if they can make an account. Our staff can make the account for them, specifically Corolla, you and your staff, and start testing out the systems, buying up what is necessary to start to pad out our, like, you know, all the things that people might need to buy. And what this will do is allow you and the staff and customers to sort of test the system out to make sure that it's working and any issues can be, you know, figured out in advance. And then we do the grand opening like maybe a week from now. That way we don't have like a million technical issues, you know, the day of launch.
I got Corolla set up on the system. We can get the rest of the staff invited, get their accounts created. And,
staff, when you say, you mean the court staff, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And I want Corolla to do the invites. I want you, me, and our overseas, you know, dev to not do any touching of the system so that any issues Corolla and her staff kind of bring up, so that we are like, we're not like hot fixing shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so that we're, you know, the usability and the user feedback becomes, you know, you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah. So we talked last night about changing some of the goals, adding some items. I'm gonna sit down with Corolla and have her do all of that to you know, let her familiarize herself with the system.
Beautiful.
And then we have some users to add. Corolla, I'll walk you through that process so you at least understand how to do it.
Perfect.
And I think there was a couple more things on that front, but
I definitely want to get Tally in there. She's the only one who I think is going to be around during this time. The other one would have to wait for a late night.
Yep. All right, beautiful.
What role is this for?
Court center staff. And
do you feel like, do you feel like, will you come? Do you want to work with me, please?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Unless
sure.
you have a whole bunch of shit to do.
No.
Yay.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, and you know, like dealing with Forte shit right now. But yeah, whatever, I'm good.
Yeah, make sure Forte's okay, and then
I mean, he's asleep
after
right
that's
now.
done. Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been spending my mornings getting lumber because I know there's going to be a large lumber requirement to make the furniture for the place, and I know there's not enough lumberjacks in the city. So perhaps we can use my inventory for you to do some.
That is a
transactions
great
as well.
idea. I love
That
it.
would be amazing.
I can contact Roderick Stone as well. I know he has a bunch of materials and stuff, and he'd probably be willing to help us test things.
Roddy, yeah.
Yeah, I like
He's really
Roddy.
nice, and
Canadian.
he's really excited and supportive of the Cart Center project.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
Okay. I also
Cool
spoke to Cloak yesterday, and there is that big desire to move Mopec down there. And I told her, let's start slowly moving it in. Hell, we could even use the system to run it through, you know, the whole court center, you know,
Yeah.
where our material supply is that same supply, right?
Yeah, because I had a hard time trying to get a hold of Cloak or anyone from Mopec. I had to actually buy materials from Roddy to make parts.
he's around like
So-
crazy hours. Like he puts in fucking work.
Roddy
He's-
is amazing.
Yeah,
All
even
right.
if he's not in the lemon list, half the time I call him, he's still fucking around. Like he's just on his truck and like doing runs.
Yeah, it's just I wasn't able to get a hold of either Cloak or Wyatt at all.
Yeah.
Wyatt's been
So-
on a bit of a, let's call it an LOA, but they opened their doors yesterday. The materials hub, again, I'm no longer involved, but last I heard, their sanitation sales, they're on degen hours. So unless you're up at like, 9 p.m. Eastern and then through the night, they don't have a salesperson available during the day.
I must have missed them. But yeah. That would be awesome. If they can get Mopec down there, that would be really cool.
Wait, does that mean
We'll
that
just have to
Mopec is
see
only available during those times?
I mean, Wyatt's usually available during the day. Usually. But again, I haven't seen a request for funding come in for Mopec for a hot minute either, so. There's also been a lot of turnover in the mechanic field. It's possible there could be new mechanics that are up and running that don't know about it.
Yes.
I know there are new ones that do, like Rayner, for instance. I think he's recently licensed and he's well aware of Mopec. But
I
He is
spoke
well-
to
yeah.
I spoke to Big Dog this morning. They want to run Big Dog noodles out of the Court Center on grand opening week.
and I talked to Mike about this as well. Yeah, he said the
Yes.
same thing.
There's a lot of support across the city for this. And I think we want to see this. We are creating Amazon San Andreas. And everybody should be involved. Any beefs, leave them out. At least from our perspective. You know what I mean? We are here to build up the city, build up that civilian base, and get people in a place where they can start communicating again.
Yeah, agreed.
And is there anything else you guys want to chat with me about? I got to talk to Peters and then head out of here.
Good.
I don't think so. No.
Hey, watch each other's back, yeah? Because
Yeah, we will.
at the end of the day, I'm not always going to be around. Then we need to make sure we can work without me available, right? And that's why I didn't pick you
like how
guys.
ominously you said that.
Well, no, I mean, because I'm going to be in New York for New Year's Eve. I'm going to be in Boston, so
Nice.
yeah. Well, I've I've
What
been
are you
around
doing
the
for
city
New
for a
Year's Eve? What's the
while.
plan?
French restaurant. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. Nice little French place, and probably going to the harbor. We'll see. Yeah.
You ever eaten there before?
No. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Actually,
I'm
it
watching
might
the
get
entire
changed up.
extended edition of Lord of the Rings with my friends.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right. If you guys need anything, please do not hesitate to give me a call. All right. All right. I'll chat with you soon.
All right, Nino. Take care.
I just got a text from Tilly.
Hey, Michael, I have a question for you.
Oh my God.